Peace, family. It's fresh. And this is another episode of Make It Make Sense. Oftentimes, we're going to talk about quite a few things from manhood to the dating market and things that we need to self correct. But I think oftentimes what we do need to do is reflect and look at the best of us to be able to use them as an example for us to get to that place of self correction and ascension faster. And one of the greatest examples who has recently transitioned is the amazing champion, Mr. Bill Russell. I feel like his perseverance and leadership, among other characteristics that he shared, are a great example for us as men to be able to take and use to not only live better for ourselves, but for the rest of us. Again, a man of great perseverance, regardless of racial tension. He didn't let that take him off his square or make him cower. He had a code of fairness he stuck to, and if he was met with segregation, even on the road, he and his fellow black players under his leadership decided that they wouldn't participate in the game. And though people came to see them play, if they were to deny them fair treatment, then those folks wouldn't be able to get to see him play. And that's one of the things that I try to continue to state in most of my videos is that as a people, we have power through our presence. We have power through what we accept. We have power through what we give attention to. And he understood that years, decades ago, that his power is in his presence and is in his attention. That is our currency here in this country. And when we deny that to somebody else, we put leverage on those particular entities that would deny us. And in doing so, he shows great leadership. He accepted his role, especially on the court and off the court. On the court, whether he needed to be a passer, defender, rebounder, or a scorer, hell, even a coach, he answered the call and did what needed to be done. And I think for men, especially, instead of sometimes complaining about the lot that we have in life, we accept it, do it to the best of our ability, and handle business. And even though he didn't need to do all of those things, he could, but he realized in order to be a champion, he had to delegate. That's another thing that I think as men, we can, well, I mean, just as people, but especially as men that are going to be leaders, you got to be able to delegate. When he wanted to win championships, he decided, like, listen, okay, I can do everything on the basketball court, but if I decide, I need Havlicek to be the scorer, I need somebody else to be the passer, but I will focus merely on rebounding and defending. I make it easier on myself and for my teammates to be able to get the ultimate job done, which is to win the championship. And in doing so and accepting that role of leadership and being a delegator, they win 8 championships in a row and 11 in total. Even, at times with him being a coach. By doing so and accepting his role, delegating, he becomes the ultimate winner. I think in our community, we can definitely learn from that example. You can become the ultimate winner by realizing where you should be and helping your brothers be in the other positions that need to be filled instead of trying to do it all on your own. Oftentimes, by trying to be independent, we burn ourselves out. That's not how anything works for any other community. Everybody is interdependent and they understand that their life is not their own. His sacrifice and selflessness is an example of that. And the byproduct was winning. I feel like he was a man of code and honor. He often would stand by his brothers and be there in their time of need. 1967, he's there with Jim Brown. He's there with Muhammad Ali. When he denies going to the war in Vietnam and they tell him he can't box, not only for Muhammad Ali and his other athletic brothers, but for other other melanated people in the country decides, we need to take a stand to normalize fairness and to get away from the normalization of unfairness. He not only stood for other brothers of means, he stood for people without. He said that everybody in that time admired Jackie Robinson. And he felt that Jackie was so important. Jackie took them, black athletes, black people, from point A to point B, opening the door. And they admired him greatly for that. He felt like his responsibility was to get everybody from point B to point C and show others what to do after that. This is a marathon. What we're involved in is a marathon. And trying to run your own leg all the time doesn't get you anywhere. You have to prepare yourself to be able to pass the baton. And from Jackie, he recognized that is his purpose, is to do great now, set the example, and pass the baton. We can be great as a community if we acknowledge that that is our purpose. We live in for each other. And even though, he's, in his elder years, there's no regret because he stuck to discipline. A big time law that I'd like to adhere to all the time is choosing the pain of discipline over regret. Because he was disciplined in his craft, disciplined to his code, he has no regret. He lived with honor and will go down a legend. And when you stay disciplined to your purpose, when you stay disciplined to the code, these are the results. So all in all, Bill Russell is the kind of man that we should all strive to be. Forward-thinking, heartfelt, and honest, honorable, tough, and generous. We are made better for the example and the sacrifice that you gave. Thank you. From the bottom of our hearts to the great champion, Mr. Bill Russell.